You know, I think with all the build videos that are going out, I think I might as well jump into this as well and show you what I think is probably going to be the most OP build for 2K21, and that is a build based on if I was in the NBA, this is what it would look like. Yeah, no. For real though, I thought it would just be kind of fun to base a build based on, you know, when I played basketball every single day and what it would actually look like, what my badges will look like, what my stats and attributes, trying to give you, like, I guess the most honest opinion based on, I guess, my competition in middle school, high school, college, and not compared, of course, to the NBA, but what I was back then, and just build it like the same position I played, same badges, same style, same everything. Y'all have to let me know what you think about this game. You know, are you digging the new shooting? Are you digging the new dribbling? Do you think it is going to be good? I took some photos, so we did a my scan. Obviously, or at least with me in previous years, these things have never worked out. They have never turned out very good, but I'm still going to use it regardless because this is going to be a build, even if it's absolutely terrible. We'll just have to see. So this is how the face scan turned out, and I don't know, y'all have to let me know, chat. Obviously it doesn't do the goatee, the facial hair, any of that stuff, but the chin, the cheeks, the ears, I don't know. We'll have to throw some stuff on there, change the hair up a little bit, maybe see what we can come up with. Adding some hair, changing the eye color. This is the best we could come up with, which is pretty darn close. I couldn't change the facial hair color to brown because when I did that, I guess with the facial scan and stuff, it just made it look all weird. So, I mean, good enough for me. I would have to say that this probably turned out a little bit better than any other the previous years in 2K. Now, as far as position that I played, most of the time, at least in organized sports, I played small forward. Sometimes I played point guard, but I was not a very good shooter. So they usually only put me on point guard when I had to sub in or somebody, playmaking type of thing. That's pretty much the only thing I could do. But small forward is the majority of what I played. Number 5, I am right-handed. Now, I couldn't find a skills that matched, I guess, what I think my game is. It's very similar to this one that I'm on now, but instead of the green, replace the green with the blue, and I think that would fit my game style. But so we're gonna have to go with this one where the red and the blue are equally, and then the other two are the same. Now, I probably could have went with one in which the red, the blue, and the orange was probably equally distributed, and then the green was a little bit smaller, but this is what we got. Now, the physical profile is very similar to the skills. I couldn't find one in which I thought resembled my game. This was one of the closest, I would say, but flip-flop the agility and the vertical, because I am super quick, but not necessarily the best of jumpers. So strength and agility were by far better than my vertical. So we're just going to have to go with this one. Equal agility and strength, a lower level of vertical. As far as like strength goes and stuff, I mean, after high school, I was in the military. I was in the Marines. I focused on physical fitness. I ran all the time. I worked out almost every single day. So I was pretty healthy, pretty strong, and I liked playing that way when it came to basketball. And as far as the attributes go, I mean, finishing pretty close. The dunking, at least in my most athletic days, I could dunk a tennis ball, golf ball, back in my younger 20s, but never was able to dunk a basketball, so obviously can't really dunk. But finishing close to the rim, my game, I loved playing underneath the basket. I loved body on people, even people that were bigger than me. I definitely loved to be physical, so that was my game. The mid-range and three-point should be a little bit higher, but I couldn't make them any higher. I would say mid-range should be about a 75, and maybe the three-point should be about a 65. But everything else is pretty close. Playmaking probably a little bit better because, I mean, I could dribble and I really didn't have a problem with pass accuracy. Like I said, I played point guard a lot of the time. Well, some of the time when I wasn't playing small forward. Defensively, this is really close. This is basically where I modeled my game. Strength, physicality, and defense. Playing close to the basket as well and finishing. I mean, that was pretty much 95% of my entire game. I love to be in people's faces. I love to hand check. I love to get all up, you know, right in your face whenever I play defense. And so you definitely weren't going to get around me. And if you were close to the basket and you were driving towards the basket, you can guarantee you that I will contest every single shot. And it's just how I liked to play. I guess probably from being in the Marines and being like so physical when we were in there, because I was in the infantry and all we did was train and all we did was physical combat and all we did was do just physical things. So that's just how I like to play the game. Now badges, yeah, not very many. I mean, we only got 40, but we probably, I don't know if we'll use them all. Height. Well, I would say, unfortunately, since I can't do it, it won't let me do it since I'm small forward. But I would say with shoes, standing straight up, and maybe a generous tape measure, I might be able to be 6'1", 6 foot. If I was, you know, with a little generosity. But we're going to have to go with like 6'5". I mean, nowadays I'm more like 5'11". Kind of shrinking, getting older and older, right? So we're going to have to go with 6'5". I mean, that's the best I can do because that's as low as it will let me go for being a small forward. And then weight, back then, when I was in my best physical shape, when I worked out all the time, when I took supplements constantly. And so I was pretty close to 185. Yeah, it's not going to be a very big small forward. But that's about the best I could do. Being that I was 6'5", though, being that I'm 6'5" in this game, probably need to pack on a little bit more. So maybe about 200 just to scale up with the height. So we're going to go with 200, but accurately, I was more like 6 foot. 185 pounds at my top physical peak condition. Now I did measure my wingspan and it is about 73 inches, but that is, you know, with me being 6 foot tall or 5'11" right now. The lowest I can go is 77 inches. So we're just gonna roll with that. I mean, it does increase my mid-range, it does increase my 3-point shot a little bit. Everything else does go down a little bit. My defense goes down. Ball handling goes up. But, I mean, I think that's probably the most accurate. We'll probably, actually, you know what? We'll probably just go 77.9. I don't know, close enough being that I'm 6'5" in this. Now, as far as the takeover goes, you might say, well, maybe it makes sense to be a lockdown defender because defending is what I really love to do. But honestly, I think my takeover is slasher because whenever I played defense, whenever I played basketball, defending was my game style, but there was nothing that got me more hype. Like whenever I made a good defensive play, man, I loved to take it towards the basket, and I loved to drive in, do any, just play underneath the basket. So we're gonna have to go with a takeover as a slasher instead of a lockdown defender. Jalen Rose, Jimmy Butler, Gordon Hayward, a two-way slasher. You kind of figured where that was going, except with the really short midget arms. As far as my overall physicals, 88 speed, 87 acceleration. That's probably a little low. I think I was a little bit faster, especially when I was younger. I mean, when I was in high school, I was running on the varsity 400 and the 4x4, running under 50-second 400s. By my sophomore year, I went to a really large school. So I was faster and at least quicker than most people in my younger 20s. Same exact thing. I ran all of the time. Strength, I was probably a little lower than a 73. I mean, I don't think I was, I mean, I worked out all the time, but I don't necessarily think I was that strong. But close enough, I think. I mean, the speed is close enough. The strength is close enough. The vertical is close enough. 40 total badges. Finishing, I would say that probably contact finisher was probably my best thing. So we're going to go Hall of Fame on that one. Relentless finisher is another one. We only got 10 badges, right? Yeah. We'll go gold on the relentless finisher, and then probably I either put back boss because, like I said, I loved playing underneath the basket, or maybe consistent finisher. I think acrobat is probably going to be the best one that at least fits my style the most. We got shooting badges. Like I said, I wasn't much of a shooter. I did not. I like shooting. Don't get me wrong, I definitely like shooting and I definitely like putting it up, but I don't necessarily think I was probably the best at that. So I think flexible release, I mean, I could still make it. I could still probably shoot it when I'm tired. Steady shooter, contested shots, you know, really didn't matter. So I think steady shooter, and then shot boost on maybe not volume shooter because I didn't shoot it a whole lot. Probably hot zone hunter just because I like shooting from specific places. As far as playmaking badges, they're really, again, I probably should have a few more playmaking badges to more model my game. But since I could dribble, since I was a pretty good ball handler, I would have to say probably unpluckable since I'm really quick. Probably quick first step. And then probably stop and go. Not necessarily tight handles or space creator. Probably more like stop and go. Clamps, 100%, yo. I was definitely all about the clamps. Tireless defender, 100%. I don't know if I would necessarily say a leader, but definitely pretty close to it. Intimidator, I would have to probably say a silver on that. I mean, I'm not big. I'm not, strong. I'm not necessarily intimidating, but I'll still, after a few possessions, you will definitely know that I'm intimidating. Rebound chaser, loved to play underneath the basket, loved to get the ball. I think the defensive is going to be a little bit harder, actually. I think I'm going to take off brick wall. Even though I love setting screens and stuff, I think it's more accurate to put it on off-ball pest, because even when my opponent or whoever I was guarding didn't have the ball, I was still all up in their face. Even a casual game, even at the gym, I definitely still played that way. Kind of frustrating for a lot of people, but it's whatever. That's just how I like to play. And I actually think I'm going to take one off of rebound chaser. Man, these are so hard. I'm going to take 2 off of box. I'm going to put 1 more on off ball pass, and then I'm going to put 2 more on lightning reflexes. So I guess after looking at it, I think this is probably the most accurate. Definitely clamps, definitely tireless defender, defensive leader. Off-ball pest for sure. I like to be a pain in the ass when I came to playing on defense. Intimidator, lightning reflexes because I'm pretty quick. Rebound chaser, box. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I think that models my game pretty well. Of course, for those of us that are going to use the stick to shoot, it's going to take some time to get used to. Man, throwing up air balls still. I've practiced in the gym. But yet, when it comes to being in the game, I don't know what it is, but I used to use the stick to shoot in all previous 2Ks. And just moving that meter over just a little bit while you're in the air is a little bit difficult. But as far as the rest of my game goes, finishing close to the basket, getting rebounds, pushing the ball up the court, finding open shooters, it's perfect. It almost models my game exactly. Look at that. Good pass. Open shooter. Swish. Green light. Crossover. Take it to the hole. Score. Easy layup, baby. It doesn't matter who's guarding me. I am going to play hard, work hard, make sure that I get my points, make sure that I'm up in people's faces. Setting screens, love to do that. Pick and roll, love to do that. That's really nice. But I don't know. Maybe I'm one of the few, but I really like the shooting. I really like the new shooting. I love the new dribbling. I think that I've had a lot of fun with this demo so far. Look at that crossover. Making space. Terrible shot, yo. Shooting, man, like I'm nervous, like right when I see that I'm gonna be open, right? I see that I'm gonna get open. I see that I create space. I get crossover. I got a nice step back, and I'm open. I'm like, yo, I got this. Look at me dunk. That's probably a little bit unrealistic for my game. Another dunk, nice crossover. But yeah, I think that it's just going to take some time. Just going to take some time to get used to. I really hope that we do get boosts for using the stick. I did try to use square, you know, in the gym, in other games and stuff, and it didn't really feel like I was getting boosts. Oh, poke the ball free. That's, you know, that's me right there. Being a defender, I should have dunked it right there, right on his face, but I don't know what it was. That animation or whatever didn't go through. You try to double team me, I'm still going to find the open man, cut into the basket. And then myself cut into the basket. Quick first step. This is almost perfect. That's like models my game exactly, yo. 44 total points. Finishing it with a dunk. Shot good. Played good defense. Free throws are pretty good. Y'all check out Twitch, Twitter, Discord, all that stuff. I'm out. Peace.